Hey guys, so here is your April 2025 real estate market update. We're going to go over all the latest stats for the cities of Temecula, Murrieta, and Menifee, California. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey guys, again, my name is Justin Short. I'm a realtor and team leader with the Short Real Estate team here at Keller Williams in Temecula, and this is our monthly staple video. This is our monthly market update for the month of April 2025. So we're going to go over all the latest stats for the cities of Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee, California, and then we're going to compare those stats to a year ago. So kind of show you how the trends have been year over year, and I'll give you my impression just as a real estate agent, what our real estate team is feeling on a daily basis, and what I'm hearing from other friends and colleagues that I have in the business as well. So we're going to talk about sales price, new listings, how many homes are out there to sell, and then how long homes are taking to sell. But before I get into all the information, if you are liking real estate videos like this, please do me a favor. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Obviously, it helps me, it helps my channel as we try to continue to grow it. And then we have new videos that we put out each and every week, so that's the best way to stay on top of those. And then if you guys have any real estate questions and you want to reach out, I would love to chat with you. So you can feel free, you can call, you can text, you can email me. You're going to see my information either down below or at the end of the video. Of course, myself, that's the phone number directly to myself. That's my cell phone. So myself and my team would love to help you. I'd love to answer any questions you may have. I'd love to help you out with your home search. So cool. All right, let's get into all the latest stats. So again, April 2025, we're going to start with the city of Temecula, and we're going to start with last year. So last year in April 2024 in the city of Temecula, there was a total of 186 new listings that were put up on the market. And then if you compare that to this year, over the last 30 days, there's been 188. So really, it's like exactly the same. There's 2 more homes listed this year as opposed to last year. It's a 1% change, really not very significant. City Murrieta, kind of same deal. So a year ago, there was 165 new listings coming up on the market. This year, we're at 167 new listings. So 2 more available homes, or 2 more new homes to this year. So again, it's very insignificant. And then in Menifee, we actually saw just a little bit of a drop off. So last year, at this time, the city of Menifee, there was 205 new listings going up on the market. And this year, we're at 193 new listings going on the market. So, that's, it's 12 less homes this year compared to last year. It's a 6% change, but it doesn't really move the needle very, very much there. All right, so the next stat we're going to talk about is the total number of active listings. So this is basically, how many available homes there are to choose from in a given city. And this, you're definitely seeing more of a difference. So we'll start again in the city of Temecula. So a year ago, there was a total of 278 available homes to choose from. This year, we're now up to 347 available homes to choose from. So that's pretty significant, right? That's almost 75 more homes. That is, it's a 25% change year over year. That's a pretty big jump. And what's kind of interesting, I think this is the 3rd or 4th month that we've seen this in a row. But where the new listings, the new inventory coming on the market is more or less staying the same, but the available listings is growing. So 25%. We are still a little short on inventory, right? So like those are homes that will sell and will be absorbed into the market. But what that shows is, because it's not the new listings, it's basically the old listings that have been on the market for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, haven't sold, that are starting to accumulate. So it's definitely a trend to keep an eye on. I think this is the 3rd or 4th month in a row that we've seen the same thing happen. So City Murrieta, same deal. So a year ago, there was a total of 301 available homes to choose from. This year, there's now 355 available homes to choose from. So that's an 18% increase. City of Menifee, a year ago, 314 available homes. This year, we're now up to 434. So that's the biggest jump, 38% increase. That's 120 more homes to choose from this year as opposed to last year, and that's pretty significant. All right, so the next stat we're going to talk about is the average days on market. So basically, how long is the average home taking to sell in a given city? So what I would think is that as we are accumulating inventory, with the last stat, right? As there's more homes that are sitting out there, that the average days on market would really start to lengthen pretty significantly, and you start seeing homes sit longer and longer. But that's really not the case. So the homes that are selling are more or less selling in about the same timelines that they were a year ago, which would still be considered a seller's market, right? But there's more homes that are just sitting. So it's one of those things to where if you put your home up on the market and your home is overpriced and you try and push the value, you're not going to get it. You're just going to sit. If you are maybe have not a home that's not upgraded or is in poor shape or isn't appealing to people, that it's just going to sit there and it's not going to get gobbled up by the market. So we'll get into the stats. So city of Temecula, a year ago, the average home was selling in 27 days. This year, the average home is now selling in 30 days. So it's a 3-day difference. It's an 11% change, but it's pretty insignificant. I mean, half a week. As your home's taking half a week longer to sell. Not really moving the needle very much. City of Murrieta, a year ago, the average home was selling in 35 days. We are now on average selling in 40 days. So it's a 14% increase, but still 5 days. It's a little bit longer, not much of a needle mover. And city of Menifee, a year ago, homes were selling in 39 days, and now they are selling in 50. So that's more significant. That's a 28% increase. It's 11 extra days. We're getting pretty close to 60 days there. So once you get closer, your average days on market gets over 60, closer to 90 days, you start seeing things trend to really more of a true buyer's market. That's not what we're seeing, at least in this area right now. But that's those are stats to keep an eye on. But I've been saying the same thing for 3 or 4 months, and the stats haven't really moved. So they've kind of been balancing right here over the last few months. Homes are taking slightly longer to sell this year as opposed to last year, but not very significant. All right, so the last stat we're going to talk about is the average sales price in each city. And this one's kind of interesting. It's kind of a mixed bag. The stats are a little bit all over the place. So I don't know if we have like a clear answer here, but something I want to keep an eye on over the next couple months. So city of Temecula, a year ago, the average home was selling for $901,000. This year, the average home is now selling for $815,000. So that's a 10% decrease. That's a pretty big change year over year. I know I've mentioned this in a lot of my videos before, but a couple outliers here and there can really throw these numbers off. So, there might be a few low price sales that are pulling the numbers down this year. And a year ago, there might have been a few high price sales, a few $2, $3, $4 million sales that are really pulling that average sales price up too. So I don't think it's fair to say that the home prices have decreased 10% in Temecula over the last year, but it's kind of interesting to see such a big change. I mean, it's a $85,000 change in average sales price, right? So it's pretty significant and something to pay attention to. But City Murrieta, we saw the exact opposite. So a year ago, the average home in Murrieta was selling for $716,000. This year, we're now up to $792,000. So same deal. Again, there's not, home prices have not gone up, 11% in Murrieta year over year. So I think there's a couple outliers that are changing things around, but you can see those two stats. So Temecula at 815, Murrieta at 792. That's a pretty small gap between the sales price difference between the two cities. Usually it's about a $100,000 swing. So I think there's a few high-end sales in Murrieta, and I think a few low-end sales in Temecula that are really throwing off some of those numbers. But City of Menifee, we did see the average sales price drop as well. So a year ago, the average home was selling for $565,000. This year, it's now at $532,000. So that's a 6% decrease. So, like I mentioned, I think these stats are a little inconclusive. Something we'll pay attention to over the next couple months, and I'll kind of let you know my opinion on them as we get a little more data there. But overall, the market feels pretty much flatlined. From what we're experiencing as agents. Home prices are about the same year over year. They might have gone up slightly over the last 12 months, but more or less, it's a very similar market, very similar price points that we were seeing a year ago. So, and it's kind of interesting too, like going over these stats, but what we see as a real estate agent, it definitely feels like the market's very much in pockets. So like I've had listings of mine that a few of them now that we've seen multiple offers that are selling over list price. Some that have gone way over list price. Was very, very competitive. Granted, it was a very nice house, but it was super competitive, right? Not like we've seen anything over the last year and a half or so. So that's kind of interesting. And then I've had buyers, even like we're writing offers on homes that you just go up on the market and we're competing against multiple offers. So, they're not necessarily selling way over asking price, but selling a little, $5, $10, $15, $20,000 over what a list price would be, which is surprising when, comparing to these stats. But at the same time, I'm working with clients and helping people find homes that have been sitting for a little bit. Maybe they've been on the market 30 days, and then we can go in and negotiate them down $15, $20, $25, $30,000, where you can be a little more aggressive. So it seems to be a little hit or miss, right? Something that's super dialed in, priced well, it's going to sell quickly. Something that is maybe not quite as nice, needs a little bit of love, or maybe not the best, the most desirable of neighborhoods, or doesn't have something fancy like a pool or a view or something, is going to sit a little bit. So it's an interesting market, but hopefully that's good information for you guys to help navigate it. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. You can call, you can text, you can email me. My information is down below and at the end of the video, and hopefully talk to you soon. Thanks.